Hi, this week I'm going to discuss question 1, which is describe a potential application of stimulus equivalence and include how reflexivity, symmetry, and transivity would be demonstrated. So first I want to talk about stimulus equivalence, and that occurs when all stimuli in a class are viewed as interchangeable, even though only a few relations among the stimuli have been directly taught. So this means you have 3 related stimuli in a class. Let's say, for example, forms of letters. So I actually drew some of these out. So you have the number 4 backwards, word form, and in a 10 frame. Now, all those are related, but they all look different. So you could teach those relations through operant conditioning, and then you will incur some emergent relations as well. So for my example, my brain automatically went to math class because I teach first grade math in a school for children with autism. So for my example, I'm teaching telling time. So first, the A would be a digital clock, and it's say it reads 3 o'clock on an analog clock, and it reads 3 o'clock on an analog clock. So the student would have to match 3 o'clock to another clock that read 3 o'clock on an analog clock. So it would essentially be the same, but they'd have to pay attention to where the hands are at to make sure that they're matching 3 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So that would be an example of reflexivity or form matching. An example of symmetry then would be matching A to B. So A is your analog clock and B is your digital clock. So you're matching 3 o'clock on an analog clock to 3 o'clock on a digital clock. And that is arbitrary matching because the forms are different, and that has to be taught. So then to display symmetry, you would, so you were matching the digital to the analog. To display symmetry, you would take the analog and match it to the digital. And that would just be an emergent relation. You shouldn't have to teach that. And then also you would teach that B equals C. So B is your digital clock and C is your just 3 o'clock written out in words. THREEO''CLOCK, 3 o'clock. So then that's your B equals C. So then they learn that the digital clock that reads 3 o'clock is the same as written out 3 o'clock. Then another example of symmetry would be when C equals B. So the word form of 3 o'clock is then matched successfully to the digital 3 o'clock, which is an emergent relation. To demonstrate transivity, you would then show that A equals C. So the analog clock reading 3 o'clock with the hour hand on the 3 and the minute hand on the 12 is then matched to the word form of 3 o'clock. And that's another emergent relation. And then to fully test this, you would present C, which is the word form of 3 o'clock, and see if they would match it to A to show the symmetry of the transivity C to A. That's another emergent relation. So that is my example of equivalence relations, stimulus equivalence. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.